We're going to do the full class today on our backs. How nice. And if you have a strap, we're going to use a strap. If you don't, you can use a bell or a scarf, something that you can tie off to make it a complete circle, but we'll use that a couple times. There's modifications that I'll offer if you don't have one available to you. But we'll start on our backs. And we'll come into a posture called Apanasana. And we want the knees towards the armpits, not towards the center of the chest. And the whole back resting. Maybe lift your head for a moment and make the back of your neck long and then lay it back down. Almost like you have a double chin or kind of an ugly picture face. To relax the upper back. The middle back is also touching the mat, and have your knees in towards you enough so that the low back is also touching the mat. Relax your shoulders. Be holding on to the shins. If you can reach, you can clasp your hands around the shins, but it's not entirely necessary. Let your knees relax towards the armpits, shoulders relax, feel your chest open. Start to connect to your breath. Feel your belly rise and fall, and feel it rise, expand, without arching your low back. So keep the low back resting, but breathe deeply into the belly. Feel this kind of wave-like quality of your breath as you breathe in. The belly expands, the ribs expand, the chest expands. And as you exhale, always resettling, releasing, checking in, see if you can relax any part of your body more. And we'll be in each of the postures today for several minutes. So allow that thought to stay with you. We'll be here for a couple minutes. How can you be in the posture to make it a little more relaxing without anticipating the next posture that we'll do? Using your breath as an anchor. Anytime you get bored or wanting to fidget in the pose, instead of moving, refocus on your breath. Notice where it's going, how it feels in your body. It's something that's always happening and that we rarely pay attention to. So allow yourself to rest your awareness on the inhales and exhales. While, of course, resettling, finding those juicy spots to settle into as we rest and breathe in every posture. Take 5 more breaths. Bring your knees together and lower your feet to the mat, touching down evenly right and left foot. Grab your strap and loop your strap or tie off your belt or scarf. And we're going to make a loop that we're going to put around the shins and the thighs. So we want the legs parallel to each other, feet parallel, femur bones parallel, and we're going to lay the upper body down. So push into the feet gently for a moment and feel your low back touching the ground. And then relax into the feet. The way we want the strap is not with the knees touching or not with the knees wider than the hips, but completely parallel. Feet, shins, knees, thighs in the same line as your hip points. And we do this, we strap the legs here so that the sacrum can relax. Placing the feet gently onto the mat, not pushing. And allowing the legs to rest into the strap. Legs resting into the strap so that the legs start to soften and that the sacrum gently begins to widen. Your hands can be on your belly, connecting to your breath, or in Shavasana arms, resting out to the side. You might notice here that one hip feels like it's higher than the other. You don't need to make any adjustments, but observe the positioning of your sacrum and your legs. And any unnecessary tension that you might be adding to the pose. Try to soften your shoulders, your shoulder blades onto the mat, the backs of your arms. The breath flowing freely, but with our gentle, soft awareness there. Low back and feet resting on that. This may not feel like we're doing much. Oftentimes when we have pain or injury, we want to do something to make it better. But oftentimes what we need to do is to rest. And this is an amazing restful posture where there's a lot of stuff happening in the pelvic region, in the sacral region. We're not working, we're allowing the body to rest and recover. Allowing the hips to settle back, the sacrum to widen and soften. Allowing the low back to create space. Be patient and listen for your breath. Take 5 more breaths. You can take 5 more breaths, or you can pause this video and stay here for up to 10 minutes. This is a really good restorative posture where we don't need to move right away. So if this feels good, maybe pause the video. Set your own timer, your own pace. Go ahead and release the strap. Lay it off to the side for now and hug your knees into the chest and lift your head. Relax your shoulders. Take 3 breaths here. Lay your head back down. Lay your upper back down, your neck and your head, and extend the left leg straight. Hug your right knee towards your chest for a moment and flex both feet. And then we're going to come into a supine twist. Bring your right knee over to the left. And we want the left leg extended straight out from the hip and the right leg crossing the spine, crossing the plane of the body. But if this isn't comfortable, you can place your right knee on a block or something elevated so that you're not going quite as deep in the twist. Your right arm can go out to the side, but again, depends on the flexibility of your spine. If your right shoulder is hanging out in space and you feel a lot of tension there, bring something under the right knee so that the right shoulder can settle a little bit more. Take several breaths here. It's easy to shorten the breath when we're twisting, so try to make the breath just as long as it was in our previous postures. You might feel yourself inflating on your inhales where it's a little more comfortable to come out of the pose a tiny bit. And then when you exhale, sinking back into it, enjoying the twist of your spine. Head neutral towards the ceiling, or you can look towards your right hand. Take 3 more breaths. As you inhale, come onto your back and bring both knees in towards your chest. Hug your knees, lift your head and your shoulders. Notice if you feel a difference here on the right and the left side. And then extend your right leg. Extend it long. Hug your left knee in. Feel maybe the tilt of your pelvis as you hug one knee in. And then we'll twist. Bring your left leg over to the right. And assist your pose as you did on the other side. Maybe place a blanket or a pillow or a block under the left knee so that you can relax more your left shoulder. Having your knee down and your shoulder down takes a bit of time. So if one of them is popped off the mat, maybe support that part of your body so that you can relax and restore, taking a bit of the effort out of the pose and allowing your body to relax. Notice if you've shut off your breathing. Start to focus on it again, breathing in deeply, breathing out deeply. Notice where your thoughts go in the posture. Try to remain present. As our thoughts go, our focus goes. So notice the positioning of your body if you're holding unnecessary tension somewhere. If you're clenching in your jaw. If the breath is shallow. We have the power to bring the focus into the room, into our practice. Thinking about your twist in the low back, in the middle back, and the upper back. A complete spinal twist, not only going where it's easiest to twist, but feeling some nice movement all along the spine. And take 3 more breaths. And slowly come onto your back as you breathe in. And hug your knees in. Notice how the low back feels. You can lift your head and squeeze your body. And go ahead and lay down. Place your feet on the mat. And grab your strap again. So you might have to make the circle a bit larger. Placing the strap around the ball of your big toe and your pinky toe, and the rest of the strap behind your head. So we are lengthening the right hamstring and settling the sacrum at the same time. So this is going to look pretty different for everyone, or at least the amount of space that you have in the circle. And we don't want the strap in the arch of the foot, bring it closer to the toes. The strap behind your head should be basically right in line with your ears, supporting the back of the head so your head isn't dropping back. Find that comfortable stretch for yourself. The right leg doesn't need to be straight. There can be a micro bend to relieve a little bit of the stress on the hamstring. Relax your shoulders, your arms. Let your head support and assist the stretch in your hamstring, and let your leg support and lengthen the back of your neck. So you can bring your chin gently towards your chest. If flexibility allows, you can straighten the left leg, but that's secondary. You can remain here the entire time with your left foot on the mat. Notice if the pelvis is twisted or the right hip is lifted. Try to settle both hips and rest. Again, in these postures today, we're not trying to do a lot. We're trying to take a step back, do the appropriate things so that the body can settle and realign itself in these different postures. I like to notice my breath here in this pose. As I breathe in, feeling the left side of my belly expand more than the right. Taking the tension out of the space between your eyebrows and your jaw. Let it be heavy, but continue to breathe in and out through your nose. At any point, you can readjust your strap or straighten your left leg, but keep the upper body nice and relaxed. The shoulders heavy, the arms resting. The head gently resting into the strap while the foot pushes into the strap. Two more breaths. After your final breath, we'll switch our sides. You can take the strap completely off, or you can bring your left foot into the strap and release your right foot to the mat. And this side might be completely different than the other side. So check in. Maybe you need to make the strap tighter or looser. The flexibility in your hamstrings might be different on one side than the other. And again, this left leg does not need to be straight. We're not working the thigh muscle, the quadriceps. We're letting it rest and letting the head help to lengthen the hamstring. Notice whether you're pushing into your right foot or resting into your right foot. Relax your arms. Relax your jaw, your third eye. And remain here for several breaths. Working on the difference between doing and not doing. We're in a posture, but where can you let go a little bit? Notice if you're holding yourself in the posture, the foot and the head should be what is supporting the pose, not the tension in your upper body or in your legs. Maybe this side, you notice that the breath is moving more freely on the right side of the belly. Scan your body, relax your feet, your thighs, your low back, shoulders, jaw. Two more breaths. If your right leg is straight, bend it, place your foot on the ground, and release your strap. Bring your arms over your head and stretch your legs out. Give your body a full body stretch. Spread your toes, spread your fingers, feel the boundaries, the limits of your body. And we'll take a final resting posture. This can be Shavasana with your legs wider than your hips, toes gently turned out, arms resting away from the body. Without effort in your whole body. If you have low back pain and this arch in your back isn't comfortable, come upright and take our final rest in child's pose. So you can separate your knees as wide as your mat and sink your hips back, extending your arms without effort also. Letting the forearms rest and the forehead rest. If that feels better for your final resting posture, you can do so. Otherwise, rest on your back in Shavasana.